So this comes with Windows 10 Home. What the? Come on, let's get rid of that Windows Home. Let's get some Windows Pro. Copy and paste my code from the description. You can also get Office 2019. Just paste my code. Woof, it's Windows Pro time. So again, I am actually recording in here. Let's go to the game, Fortnite. And we're going to show you some things about this. First of all, you may have to pick a resolution, a derivative of the display. So sometimes it won't let you select 16 by 9 or anything like that. So that's a derivative of the 16 by 10 display. So, you know, you have to sometimes crop if you want to play 1080p or stretch, or you just play a derivative of the actual resolution of the display. There you can see, have a look at that. That's the fan noise from this mic because I'm recording into this mic here. And yeah, see, that's going to be a problem. You might have studio quality mics. The fan's going off. It's not very useful. So anyway, I've turned off that game just for a sec because I just want to talk about the display. Now the display, I'll just show you something here. Very ghosty display. You're probably not going to see this, but that's very ghosty. Now some people go, oh, that's the Intel HD. No, it's not the Intel HD. Even when the graphics card is lit up, you get this ghostiness. Now, to be fair, even the XPS 15 is a bit ghosty. The OLED has got a super fast pixel response. But you got to remember, these are made for content creation. They're not made for moving images, which is sort of a little bit ironic because obviously it's made for, you know, video editing, but not for fast gaming movement where it's, you know, you're just panning around really quick unless you're doing a pan whip or something like that when you're recording. So, you know, it's going to be ghosty, but there's something special about this display. So if I go to the display options, if I go to scaled, have a look at this. More space will not give you the full resolution. So that's saying here that more space looks like 2048 by 1280. Now this is the default, and the default is not a doubling of pixels. The default looks like 792 by 1120. It's not a doubling of the pixels. If you want to go to a doubling of the pixels, you have to make everything too big. And that's one of the things, if it was a higher resolution display, so it went beyond, you know, sort of 4K or whatever, then you'll be able to double the pixels and get things sharper. So if I show you here, see how sharp that is? Because there's a doubling of the pixels. Let me go back to default. I hope you can see this. It's a bit softer. And you might think, well, just because I've changed the resolution, it's softer. No, if I go to more space, it gets sharper again. Whatever that default resolution is, it's the best for the display to view things, but it is a little bit softer. So if you want the absolute most sharpness, you have to go to that one, which is basically a doubling of the pixels, but everything's too big like that. So there's a bit of a compromise in that. And then we have the variable refresh rate. So apparently this is so video editors can watch their video at frame by frame. So, you know, if you're filming at 24 frames per second, you use 48 hertz because that's a double of 24 frames per second, and then you can look at every frame per second. I don't understand this, to be perfectly honest, because if your frames aren't syncing up with the display, how is that working? I'm not sure. But this is what video editors wanted. They wanted, you know, this sort of variable refresh rate or the ability to change the refresh rate. Of course, it's only 60 hertz. By default, it's on that 59.94. So I don't know why, but that's what it's on by default. Yeah, it's an awesome display for gaming, for the actual look of the content. The content looks amazing because it's so big. And when it comes to graphics, well, we're going to get into the gaming in a sec, but you know, this one has the i7 and the 5300. Now the 5300 4GB graphics card is nearly as fast as the Vega 20 on the previous model, the i9. So that is amazing that the base model now, you're getting nearly as good graphics as the high-end model in the last generation. So, you know, the i7, I'm a little bit disappointed. Mine only maintains about 52 watts. And yes, it gets to 100 degrees. It's going to get to 100 degrees. You're going to hear lots of fan noise. That's how it is. But Ash's computer from Fortudio, go check out Ash. I'll leave a link in the description. If I forget, please let me know. His maintains about 60 watts. He has an i7 as well. So it's going to be Silicon Lottery. My one is not that great for, you know, 50 watts, 52 max sort of thing. His 160. So big difference. That sound is amazing, isn't it? Okay, so now I'm actually capturing to a capture card. I can use 16:9, whereas, you know, in Fortnite I cannot use that. I have to use 16:10. So now I can do 1080p. All right, while I'm in the lobby, so this is high settings, 1080p. You can see the FPS at the top. Ooh, 120 FPS. This is 1080p. High settings. We had a little micro stutter there. Don't know if that's what's going on there. Okay, yeah. So you definitely don't want to buy. That may be network. Who knows? We'll see when the game starts. But you definitely do not want to buy this specifically for gaming. And this is on Mac OS. So they do not have the drivers for Boot Camp at the moment. As soon as the Boot Camp drivers drop, I can tell you now, I'm going to do a proper full gaming review like I do on the PC with all the thermals, the voltage, the wattage, everything like that. We're going to do the proper review, but this is a good indicator. Okay. Well, I don't know what's going on. Hello, Siri, Siri, please, please. I never said Siri, so why are you coming on?
Yes.
Please be quiet, please. Anyway, so, oh God. Anyway, let's jump. Oh, spacebar to jump. And see how we go here. It's going to be a good test of the actual, you know, the gaming system. See how many frames. Do we get micro stutters? Do we get, you know, throttling or anything like that? Because even though this is Mac OS, I have some good games. Like I have Deus Ex Mankind Divided. I have, you know, Drive, the rally game or whatever it's called. So, you know, this will still be a good test of its gaming capabilities. And yeah, we're getting 80 frames per second. Now, of course, Fortnite isn't the most demanding game, but we'll get into, you know, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, which is a system crusher. I always use that on PCs because, you know, if your PC does 60 frames per second high settings, for Deus Ex Mankind Divided and Witcher, probably only do 40, 45. So it is a system crusher, so I'll be very interested to see how that goes. But you can see here, that's fine, yeah? 90 frames per second, you can hear the fans. Now this is output into a capture card too, whether or not that makes a difference or not, but still 90 frames per second. Let's go and change this to Epic. Let's go straight to Epic settings. All right, this is 100% resolution, Epic settings. Let's see how we go. We're getting 65 FPS, 66 FPS, and it's not dropping below 60. So that's quite good. A couple, you know, it's a little bit just dipping under, you know, the 1% lows would be in the 50s. I can see it just dropping to 50 every now and then. But I wouldn't recommend Epic settings, but 60 frames per second, Epic settings, Fortnite, I think it's best to just play high and you're getting that 80 frames per second, even though it's a 60 hertz you know, refresh. There's no point going to 80, but you can see there. Let's test out Deus Ex Mankind Divided and some other games. Jesus Christ, this crap. What is it doing, man? I hate this Mojave. Oh no, what is it called? Catalina. It really does suck. Just it's like Windows Vista. It asks you for a password all the time. Okay, so now we are playing at 1080p medium settings, and I'm getting a full 60 FPS. VSync is off, and that is excellent performance because, you know, the XPS 15 would do about 50-60 frames per second medium settings, 1080p, and this is doing pretty much exactly the same. That is quite amazing. Now, of course, this is running in Mac OS. I have a feeling it's really optimized for AMD hardware. It really likes AMD hardware, so, you know, that's one thing about this. Let's open her up, and yeah, it's nearly a constant 60. I don't have VSync on, so why is it sitting at exactly 60? I have no idea. Let's have a quick look there. Display. VSync is off. Okay, let's resume. All right, and you can see there it's sitting at 60 FPS. So, and the fan noises, the fan noises, they're not that bad. Of course, it's a Mac. It's going to be 100 degrees, you know. 100 is the new 80 with Macs. That's just how it is. And this is very playable. It seems to be sitting at a constant 60, even though I have VSync off. Seems to be, you know, capping out at 60 FPS. That's a bit strange. So maybe VSync, even though I turned it off, is actually on. I don't know what's the go there, but it's constant 60 FPS. So medium settings, that is excellent. I can imagine what the other one is with the 8 gigabytes and extra graphics performance. 5300 is really good. Very surprised. That's quite amazing. And the fans, man, compared to a gaming laptop, this is bliss. This is like a gaming laptop. It's actually got touch bar. Oh my god, there's actually touch bar shortcuts for this game. That's cool. That is actually really cool. A gaming laptop will be definitely now, and this is like a gaming laptop on silent. So this is a really hard, demanding game, and considering it can play 60 frames per second at medium, where usually a lot of the lower end gaming laptops, it's struggling to do medium 60 frames per second. That is quite good. Let's go to high, see what happens. Yeah, I am fucking restarting, I can tell you right now. We'll see if this works. Alright, so now we're at high settings, and you can see it was a constant 60 before. Now we're at 52 frames per second. You can see top left hand corner, it's very small, but yeah, that's just, you don't have all the tools when you're gaming in Mac OS. Sorry, that's how it is. And definitely stay tuned for my full gaming review. Once the boot camp drivers drop, you're definitely doing a proper one. It's going up to 60 every now and then. So, you take a 7 frame per second sort of hit if you go to high. It's not really worth it. But amazing gaming performance on the lower end graphics. This is really good graphics card. And there's no dips or micro stutters or big throttling. And it's not even, like, if I was going to say, I reckon the fans are at about 70-80%. Then they're definitely not on full blast, and much better than a gaming laptop. It's like a gaming laptop in silent, as I said. So let's try out some other games. I'm really impressed with the performance, actually. Alright, so it looks like I'm playing at about 50 something frames per second. It's hard to see that text on the top left hand corner, but there are some graphical glitches. I don't know see those glitches? Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's new drivers, so whatever. Yeah, and you can see it's easily playing, and this is high settings, 60 frames per second, so that's pretty awesome. And I do not know how to steer. Whoa, steer for me, how about that? Whoa, yes, look at that, still 60 FPS, and boom, shagalugga, as Ash would say. Yeah, hitting the wall pretty hard, and yeah, I can still see I'm getting nearly 60 FPS at high settings. And this is a AAA title indeed, so that's pretty good. Got to be happy with that. And the fans are pretty loud. They seem to be louder than they are with Deus Ex Mankind Divided. So I can't wait to actually get this into Windows. But still here, I don't know what that glitches are, but that's new drivers. What do you expect? I mean, sometimes I think, well, it's a miracle it actually works, considering it is Catalina and it's the latest drivers. So you're still getting, that looks like 90 frames per second. No, 58, no, 54. No, I can see, yeah. So I'm getting nearly 60 frames per second at high settings, 1080p. So yeah, that's good. Good. Now I just want to see if I can play Civilization. Oh, my tire's gone. Oh no. I want to see if I can play Civilization without the fans kicking on too hard. So what I want to know with Civ here, it's going through the benchmark, is if I can play it silently. Obviously I'll be able to play it, no problems. There's no doubts there. But I've been playing on Ultrabooks and even a Surface and even some other Ultrabooks where it's silent when I play this game, because you don't need the biggest, best graphics to play this game. So far it's silent. It's running through the benchmark. Very low fan noise. So if it's like this, I can say it's a winner, because I love playing Civ and Football Manager, but I don't want the fan going when I'm just playing casually on the couch. You get the old look from the missus. Hey, what's going on there? What's taking off? So far that looks like, yes, I cannot hear the fans playing Civ. So there is a bit of fan noise. It's not too bad. it's okay. I can live with this as long as it's not screaming and it sounds like it's going to take off. So yeah, I can play this casually on the couch, and yeah, I will keep you updated whether I play a more complex game, whether it's going to start kicking in really loud. But yeah, casual gaming you might be able to do without that much fan noise. So anyway, that's the wrap up of the game review. Stay tuned for my full-on, proper boot camp Windows gaming review of this when the drivers drop. I'd like to really thank you guys for watching. Let me know down there in the comments if you want any, things tested, whatever. And until next time, tally ho.